President Trump likes to boast about his handling of the economy. In fact, he's betting economic health will assure him a second term in office.
From the instant I took office, I moved rapidly to revive the U.S. economy, slashing a record number of job-killing regulations, enacting historic and record-setting tax cuts, and fighting for fair and reciprocal trade agreements.
Since he brought it up, let's consider one of Trump's signature issues: trade. Despite his aggressive trade moves, the total monthly trade deficit in goods and services, that is, the value of goods and services exported by the U.S. minus the value of imports, has actually been rising under Trump's watch. What about his celebrated tax cut bill? Who benefited? According to Trump, his tax cut is a middle-class miracle.
It's called a middle-class miracle.
Let's be frank. That's just a bold-faced lie. The Tax Act greatly benefited higher-income Americans, and it lowered the corporate tax rate from 35% to 21%. The national average refund was $90 higher in 2018 than it was in 2017. But the taxpayers who saw the largest refund increases had an income of at least $200,000. Still, Trump argued that the tax cut bill would not benefit the rich.
And the rich will not be gaining at all with this plan. We're looking for the middle class, and we're looking for jobs. Jobs meaning companies. So we're looking for the middle class, and we're looking at jobs. I think the wealthy will be pretty much where they are. Pretty much where they are. If we can do that, we'd like it. If they have to go higher, they'll go higher, frankly.
That's not the way it worked out. According to the Center for American Progress, Trump personally saved up to $15 million under his tax bill. Next, let's look at his prized marker of success, the stock market.
The stock market is shattering one record after another. We have broken a lot of records. We're breaking another one today. The stock market is way up. Jobs are back. We're setting a record literally all the time. The stock market smashes one record high after another. The stock market is smashing one record after another.
The bull market ended under Trump's watch. According to Forbes, the Dow Jones rose 28% since Trump's election. However, under Obama, the Dow increased 35 overall from his election and 64% from the February 2009 low. Trump likes to point to a surging stock market as proof of economic prosperity.
Every day for the last long period of days, the stock market, meaning companies, have been hitting new highs.
The stock market has gained almost $3 trillion in value since the election on November 8th, a record. Last week, the stock market soared to record highs, highest ever.
But according to Pew Research, 48% of Americans do not invest in stocks. Think about that. 48% of Americans do not invest in stocks. The current population of the United States is 328 million. Therefore, over 157 million citizens are not invested in stocks. 157 million. Do those people count? Or should we only be concerned about the wealthiest half of the nation? What do the non-investors look like? According to the American Payroll Association, 74% of American workers say they live paycheck to paycheck. 74%. Career Builder puts the number even higher at 78%. The fact is, 3 out of 4 workers have meager discretionary funds for investing in the stock market. Trump may be personally delighted when tracking his stocks, but the vast majority of Americans, 3/4 of Americans, are just trying to survive. Even more devastating, according to the United States Census Bureau, the official poverty rate in 2018 was 11.8%. That is 38.1 million citizens. I assure you, investing in stocks is not their highest priority. Their greatest concern is finding their next meal. Finally, a word about the national debt. USA Today confirmed a total national debt of $19.9 trillion on Trump's inauguration day. That's what he inherited. As of July 7th, 2020, the national debt stands at $26.5 trillion. That's an increase of over 33%, which should concern any American, but especially Trump's party of conservatives. The following is from the Brookings Institution. The GDP, gross domestic product, is the monetary value of all goods and services within a country during a specific period. On January 20, 2017, when Trump was inaugurated, the national debt was 35% of the GDP. Here's the kicker. The debt rose to 80% of the GDP right before the pandemic. Now it is projected to rise to 100% of the GDP by September 2020. In short, Trump's trade policy have been a bust. The tax cut has done little to nothing for the middle class. The stock market rally has only padded the pockets of the wealthy. And the national debt continues to soar at record speed. So much for the man who likes to speak of himself in superlative terms.
Nobody but me will know how to do. I'm the king of banking. Oh, am I good at banking? Do I know how to deal with banks? Ay, ay, ay.
Construction is what I know. I say nobody knows it better.
Okay, let me just tell you this. I understand money better than anybody, and I'm way up on the economy when it comes to questions on the economy.
Nobody knows more about trade than me. I mean, I made so much more money than Mitt. You know, I have a store that's worth more money than Mitt. It's a store. But nobody knows the system better than me. Which is why I alone can fix it. I am the chosen one.
The chosen one? Really? For his own self-interest, maybe, but not for the American people. The truth is in the numbers.